Welcome back to the original box set Shadowrun podcast. In our last episode, Sunny and the team managed to escape the nest of ghouls coaxed out with fresh meat by Carston Lund. Trollface was able to subdue Lund by force, but is definitely hurting for it. He and Sunny drive to turn their captive into the Enclave, but Lund says he has proof of a greater conspiracy, planting the seeds of doubt in Sunny, making her question if they are doing the right thing. Our GM is Max, and Sunny Day is played by Cassie. We hope you enjoy listening.
As you pat the back end of the van, and the red lights begin tearing off into the darkness, you can see Terrence over by his car, and he's pushing someone into the back of it. The doors are all open at this point. The rain is starting to come down harder. It's come from a pound to a squall. You can hear...
It's so rainy all the time.
You can hear
Can't it just drizzle every once in a while, like most of the time? Okay.
There is some reason for it.
I know.
And so, I don't want to spoil it.
That's fine, don't, yeah.
Anyways,
alright.
it's becoming a squall, but you can hear the sound of sirens in the distance. Gunfire got off. Remember, you guys were shooting.
Oh, right, we were. Yeah, we were shooting. Well, someone was shooting, not me. That's for sure.
You arrive over to the car, and
Yeah.
Trollface is slamming the back door, and he's rushing around to the front driver's side
Okay.
to get in quickly.
Well, I'm gonna go into the passenger side. And, yeah. I'm not even gonna really look at him. It's raining. I just see basically his silhouette. Everything's fine. He's getting in the car. I'm getting in the car. We're going because people are coming.
As you throw into the car, he's yelling into his phone, "Take us up 99, all the way to Everett. Just get going, obey the laws. Do it now," as he tosses his phone into the soft plastic cubby, and he's climbing in.
Okay.
He fishes out one of his large, heavy pistols and puts it onto a cup holder. That's for one of the mega gulps on the dashboard.
Yeah.
The car begins the beep, letting know that passengers haven't buckled up, and it's detecting 3 passengers. He gets in, pulls the door shut. He's mostly sitting to one side, looking in the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
The bulbs in the top of the car illuminates everything. Lund does not seem to be moving too much, but gasping every once in a while.
Okay. Is he tied up?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
No tied up at all. Every once in a while you just hear him.
I get in, I close the door, I see that he's not tied up. And I think that, after I close the door, that's when I look at Terrence. Terrence, what happened?
Lund used some high caliber rounds.
Jesus Christ, your face!
He kind of stops and begins looking into the reflection of the rearview mirror. Damn, that's going to take a while. Alright, start driving, and he slaps the dashboard a bunch, and the car begins lurching, motions and complaining about no one having a seatbelt on.
Okay. So I'm going to pop open the glove box,
Okay.
where we have our emergency first aid kit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like a full kit or anything, but it'll hopefully keep the blood from pouring into his eyes, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to get that out, and yeah, I'm going to have him turn towards me. He's like, look at over here. We got to clean that out.
He sits there and turns his gaze back to Lund, being aggravated, trying to tell him what to do at this point in time. And then he relents.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to start, cleaning off the majority of the blood, seeing where the actual wounds are, and putting on some, I guess it would be called, new skin? I'm sure that there's something like that.
So it's like this peel away pieces of paper that has a gooey layer on it, and you peel it off, you put the goo, you pat it dry down, and you lay the goo across it, and it creates an abrasive surface on the outside and a gooey layer on the inside to help keep the wounds closed for now.
Right.
And then after a while, they just dissolve a little bit, and you just peel them off non-sticky
Okay.
or they'll fall off from the shower. But that doesn't mean the wound's cleared.
It's just covered for now, yeah.
So he's got these big white and blue patches on his head, 3 of them, where you have able to find what looks like 2 rounds went off across the top of his skull. You can see there's a scathe mark across his horn.
Yeah.
So it's like a nice long drag.
Oh my goodness. Did he get you anywhere else?
I don't know, I haven't checked.
Okay, well, open your jacket.
He starts to take the jacket off. And he had gotten kicked.
Yeah, he got kicked. He got, like, super kicked. So he's gonna have, like, this whole giant, like...
Bruise,
yeah.
And then he got shot at the head.
Yeah.
And then he knuckle-dustered Lund in the midsection.
Mm-hmm.
Aiming specifically for Lund's main point where his wired reflexes go off. So it was one of the things Trollface was focusing on was the infrared allowed him to see certain cyborg parts. So he's like taking him out piece by piece.
Awesome.
So yeah, as he takes the shirt off, you can. The bruise is there. It's swollen, but it's not discolored yet.
Okay.
So the blood's just now flowing to it.
So yeah, I'm gonna start pushing on ribs. Yeah, it looks like he cracked this one at the very least. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to... We gotta get you to a doctor.
I can't see a doctor. Some of the stuff inside me isn't street legal. He reaches over into the medical kit and pulls out one of the EpiPens of pain reliever, basically.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And he stabs himself in the leg.
So, yeah. Right now, she's very focused on making sure that he's got his injuries managed. You know, as far as she could feel, didn't feel like the rib wasn't completely broken off, just probably cracked a little bit, so it's not going into any lungs or whatever else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she's working on right now.
Okay. You can definitely feel on the left side when you press in for the rib, you can feel the tension, but there seems to be a hard object behind the rib. So as you press in, you can feel it's like a muscle of steel.
Yeah.
In there.
So what is that?
That's an air tank.
A what?
An air tank, a compressed air tank in my lung. The bottom half of my lung.
Well, and it's a good thing it's there because that would have completely punctured your lung.
Yeah, but my kidney sits behind it.
Oh, man. Probably it's just a bruise at this point. So I think you should be okay.
Yeah, I mean, the tank's working right now. I kicked it in when I used the gas on him, so I know it didn't rupture.
Well, that's good.
The car's conversation is broken by Lund going...
Yeah, and then she looks back at him and was like, what did you do to him?
He's got this thing in his throat that helps filter out, but they're mostly made out of titanium, and if you pinch them just right, they close off the airway. It makes it hard to breathe. And then I gassed him, and since it's hard to breathe, he got a better dosage of the gas. The car complains about no one having seatbelts again.
Is there a way to turn that off?
Yeah, it's through the phone, the app on the comlink. And he begins kind of fucking with it. His hands are really shaky.
Yeah, I'll just take it.
Okay.
So, okay, she's gonna navigate to the appropriate app and just start turning off alarms. No alarm, no alarm, no alarm, no alarm. Just don't. Nothing. So annoying.
Oh, there will be a message on there that says from Angie saying, I can't find you. Where are you at? As you're nothing. You see a short list. Angie's like, I can't find you. Where are you at? You're off my sensors. I can't find you anywhere. And then all of a sudden another one pops up. Oh, I can see you.
Okay.
But you're clearing that out to find the app.
Yeah, I'm just clearing it out because she knows that there was a device down there that was blocking signals. That seems like, okay, completely relevant, yes, but not unnecessary at this point. So, why didn't you tie him up?
I kind of was a bit busy getting my ass kicked.
Well, do we have anything?
In the trunk.
Well, can we pull over and get it?
He looks out the window. You guys are pulling on to 99 at this point in time. We could tie him up in my jacket. It's an expensive fucking jacket. Oh, God. And he pops the chair so it leans back, takes his jacket, just immediately gets back there. And Lund, in his weakened state, tries to start resisting, and Trollface doesn't say much. And Lund's like, and you can hear the struggle for a minute. Just shut the hell up for a second. And then he crawls back into the chair. And he's going to turn the chair so it's not facing the front of the car. It's facing toward the back of the car because his car's front seats can swirl around.
Yeah, it's like fully automated.
So he's going to swirl around. That's how he swirls around to deal with wrapping Lund up. And so he puts his jacket around Lund and then ties it behind his back. I mean, if Lund can rip through it, he's going to rip through it.
Right.
But in the meantime, it is somewhat of a caution.
Okay, well, at least there's, one boundary between us and him.
He nods and he reaches over and grabs your hand and he puts it onto the mid-console and points at a button that would bring up a secondary barrier.
Okay. Do you want me to do that now?
No.
Okay.
That did not go the way I expected it to.
No, definitely not. How did he know?
I don't know.
Was there anybody else who responded to the
message?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't sent a message out to him. Maybe he was expecting something. And that time, Lund half mumbles something out.
So I'm gonna turn my attention onto Lund. Is he conscious, or is he just kind of like mumbling with his eyes closed, out of it?
Mumbling with his eyes closed out of it.
Okay. Well, something must have tipped him off. Maybe we didn't set up the job well enough.
Something we'll have to keep in mind for the next time if we ever have to do this kind of thing.
I really hope we don't.
I hope so too. It was
disgusting. That's what it was.
What happened down there?
So she she has this very still look on her face. I don't want to call it deadpan, but it's literally like no emotion for a moment. She takes a deep breath, has her eyes closed, and tries to like basically will herself to tell him that there were shit tons of monsters down there and we were all gonna die, but then we ran, So she wants to present it a little more, not like a person who's absolutely terrified of ghouls. Well, he set a trap. More than just us falling through the floor. There was a body tied to a chair, and that body was being eaten. By those things, by the ghouls. There were so many of them. I don't know how we made it out. I saw them. I saw Pollux right next to me. Pollux starts messing with him, and I can't do anything to these guys. So, I ran. I ran the opposite direction of where they were coming from. And, got Maddie to help get the rest of us out. Odysseus, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. He started climbing back up. The distance between us and you guys up at the top, I suppose. But he was climbing up. They're right there, right underneath him. And then they started climbing. And that's when I knew that he was probably not going to make it.
I thought I saw him get in that van.
Yes.
Okay.
So, he saw them coming up, and he kicked himself off of the wall, doing whatever it is that he can do, onto the bookshelves. It was a library that we...
A library?
Yeah, it was a library, like a school library. Like, this was a school at one point that's like 3 layers under the city.
There's a lot buried in Tacoma.
So, he managed to catch up, and we barricaded ourselves in what I think was a cafeteria until Maddie could get access to her little robotic friends to come take care of the rest of them while we escaped. Up a, what do you call those things? A runoff. Yeah, that's the one. So we were able to get up through the runoff, and I don't ever want to have that happen again. None of this. Absolutely 100% of this, never doing it again.
Yeah, it went all sideways. That's not what I was expecting either.
Yeah. I was just gonna... So, I paid them like $10,000 each. I know that's a lot.
Nah,
but...
come on. That was a terrible situation. They just got you out of it. No, it's fine. It's fine. You're okay.
I'm okay. She's very pale, and when she says it more like a question than an affirmative statement.
Lund will make a gasp and be like, "You gotta let me go." And at that point in time, Trollface is now turning his attention from you guys are facing back that way.
And the strange sound of his breathing I would say that her fight or flight response is still elevated at this point, and the way that his breathing sounds is almost like hearing the ghouls screaming in the distance, like the faded sound of ghouls. But, I don't know if it's screaming's the right word, but that's what I got right now.
That's a perfectly good word. Their howling scream.
Yeah.
Definitely could be unnerving.
Yeah.
That same unnerving feeling when he breathes and talks at the same time.
Yes. So she's gonna turn her attention to the guy in the back of the car right now. Because she is also quite concerned that if he could do that much damage to Terrence, that jacket's not gonna hold him for very long.
Terrence will respond with this by saying, if there's much trouble you just put us through, now we're going to turn you in. It's still going to be worth it. Sorry, buddy. It's about money. You understand, right? You can see he's trying to get into that suave mentality that he has when he's doing his work.
Right.
And Lund responds back with, "You're just handing me over to the corpse. Not who you think the Enclave is."
What is he talking about?
Terrence kind of shakes his head in disbelief. I don't know. Look, guy, you did some shit. You fragged with the Enclave. You knew what was going on. That's why you knew this is a trap, isn't it? You knew the Enclave would come back for you. Yes. Yes, but... Exactly. And then Terrence cuts him off. So now that you've done the crime, it's time to pay the piper.
So, at this point, I think that Sunny she's not really sure what any of that will actually means. I mean, she understands the words, but the meaning behind them, it kind of makes her stop and think.
It doesn't matter. The Enclave is controlled. They call the shots. The system's corrupt. And you're feeding into the corpse. And then Terrence will say, "You've got it all wrong. The Enclave is resilient to corporation influence. It's secret. It's held in several various ways, which make sure checks and balances that no corporation can take control over it."
I can see that Terrence is getting more agitated with this guy talking shit about the Enclave, and Sunny asks questions. She's not an assuming person, unless she knows she's right. Obviously. So, she's going to probably interject herself into that little rant that he's doing right at the end of it, and she's looking right at Lund, forcing herself to maintain eye contact. Why should we believe you?
Trust me, I'm telling the truth, and I can prove it.
At this point, everything just pauses, I think. What proof could you possibly have? You burned down buildings, you killed people to cover up your secrets.
I was being taken advantage of. I was trying to get revenge on someone. And I uncovered something worse. And I've got data that shows I'm right.
Well, where is it then?
He would jump in at this point in time and be like, "Listen, Lund, I've done work for the Enclave for years now. I've watched their patterns. I've seen how they act. I've done my own background searching on all of the people that I've worked with. None of them are linked to Corps. Yeah, sure, some of the jobs involve Corps, but none of the jobs are for the Corps. This is the best choice for Shadowrunners out there. And you're going to tell me just out of the blue that it's all corrupt? I have problems believing you." At that which point he's still fiddling with his phone one-handed.
So Lund doesn't say anything after that.
Okay. Should he?
No. Because the weight of his words need to sink in.
Terrence turns to his phone and begins messing with it. Lund begins looking down toward the seat and the floorboard and just gasps for air.
Sunny is definitely confused. And if she's honest with herself, a little bit more than a lot scared at this point. There's a ping in the back of her mind, the ping that says, "You're in too deep. You have to figure a way to get out now before it's too late." Because she's been here before in this exact moment, almost too late to stop it from happening, and she does not want to repeat that again.
Okay.
So she's gonna look at Terrence, and he'll be like, and she'll say, "Well, what if he's right? What if he's telling the truth?"
He will say, "I've seen this before. Guys like Lund, last minute they start crying, trying to pass blame on somebody else. It's not their fault, not their problem. They shouldn't be the one to take the fall. That's all he's trying to do now. He's trying to spook us."
But he said he can prove it. Because right now she's kind of whispering to him, and she knows that Lund is probably hearing every bit of the conversation, but she's still keeping her voice down. Because keeping her voice down keeps the fear a little bit more inside and doesn't let it come out in her tone.
If he's telling the truth, it changes so much.
All I'm saying is that maybe we just passed the 505. Where are we going?
We're going to stay on the 99. We gotta figure this thing out. We gotta get someplace where we can think clearly. He looks to you. All right, I'm apprehensive too. There, I said it.
Okay. So she'll look at Lund and she'll say, "You said that you can prove it. How? What do you have?"
There's one of the places, the house, the big one. I went there to see who she killed. And I found a hiding place there. On top of a shelf. After I got the chip from Zavar, I took it there. They won't look there. It's hidden on top of a shelf.
So she's rolling back her memories right now to remember which house was the one and where it was at. She realizes that the house that he's talking about is the house that burned in Everett. And so, yeah, she's going to have that recognition moment when she tells him, it's like, that house is in Everett.
He's turning turning his seat around to face activating the steering wheel and says, "We can take 5 all the way there, we can stay on 99, but if we stay on 99, we're going to hit a bunch of lights once we get to the north end of downtown."
It's pretty late for going on 5, don't you think?
Oh yeah, we'll run into some 5ers for sure.
Can this car handle it?
Yeah, it's got some armor plating and the wheels are solid rubber, so as long as we don't run into a full-fledged barricade.
I think most of the barricades are in the core of downtown, so if we can get past that, then we can get on the 5 and take our chances.
Alright, that means I need to go all the way up to, Fremont. I'll get off Fremont, get on 5.
Okay.
That'll be fine. All the stretch through Snohomish and Everett will be there in no time. He reaches over and touches the gun into the cup holder. That's got armor-piercing rounds in it. If he moves, or looks like he's going to get dangerous, you put a bullet in his head. I can clean the car later. And he
he turns away and he's doing his thing and she's just staring at him like, "I can't shoot anybody. I can't use it. that gun's gonna come back and kick me in the head. And
he just starts driving really fast.
But she's going to turn back to Lund and watch him, and she will say, usually, please don't make me do that.
He's staring at you with lost eyes. Like he's just in between worlds at this point.
Hey, you okay?
He shakes a little bit. I need a doctor. You hear Trollface. Hey, Angie, how you doing? He's got a little piece in his ear. Yeah, we're good. I'm coming up on Beauregard. I need those lights to be green for me. Yeah, you got less than 15 seconds. Go ahead and give me the whole stretch up to Fremont. I need green lights all the way. It needs to stay that way. And I'm going to go down in 5.
I am going to do a quick medical assessment to see if this guy is actually having a serious problem breathing and may require medical attention. So let's see, that's going to be my logic plus my doctor stuff. And it's not the bonus doctor stuff.
That's correct.
Yep.
One success.
And the rest of them were 2s. Fucking shit. Okay.
You can't even ascertain his condition with 1 success. You don't know if he's like 1 box left or 2 overkill.
So, and this is from her sitting across from him. And
I do want to point out, you have one of those little medical first aid kits.
Yeah, that's
Anyways,
true.
Continue.
So she's looking at him, and she realizes even during her med school and all that kind of stuff, she never really dealt a lot with people with cyberware as part of her residency. It just wasn't as common of a thing. And she realizes she's not sure what she's looking at or even what she's supposed to look at. So she starts moving towards him, just like getting out of her seat, going towards him, and then realizing that she does have the rest of the first aid kit, and maybe she can use something in there to help figure out what is going on with this guy.
Trollface immediately grabs you. Hey, where you going? What are you doing?
There's something wrong with him.
Yeah, he got the shit kicked out of him. Don't go back there.
He needs help.
He's trying to drive at the same time, because you can see that the streets are now a blur as the speed of the car is incredibly high.
Yeah.
You see Trollface is now, he's trying to figure out what's going on. Looks in the rearview mirror, adjusts it to look back there. You guys.
I need you to trust me.
Okay.
She just picks up the kid, moves really frustratedly towards Lund, and starts going into her doctor mode. Okay. And her fear of Lund is by far overpowered by the fear of what he is suggesting. And so she wants to make sure that he stays as coherent as possible, because if somebody found the chip or anything, then we only have what's in his head, and so that needs to stay there.
Yeah.
So she's going over, she's going to look at the thing on his neck. She's not sure is it outside or inside? Yeah. So she's going to look at his neck, she's going to start touching, feeling where that stuff is, and being very confused by it. Yeah, I don't know if I can do another roll or not.
You can. You hook the device up to it.
Okay.
You get an extra 2 dice if you turn on the wireless and start using your comm to manipulate it.
Yeah.
And that's all computer stuff. It's
okay.
2 extra dice if you turn on the wireless to it.
Yeah, I'm going to.
The only downside if somebody tried to hack it right now. Big fucking move. 2 extra dice, you get to roll again.
Okay. 5 successes.
He is 1 box over overkill, which means he needs to be stabilized. To stabilize him, you're going to need to find some way to shut off and open up his throat. Either shut off the device, clear his throat, or get an airflow to his lungs that's not restricted.
Yeah, okay. You said these things were made out of titanium?
Yeah, they're made out of what? The things. Hang on.
The things in his. Yeah,
hang on, Angie. What?
You said that they were made out of titanium. The things in his throat.
Yes.
I need something sharp.
You need something sharp?
Yeah, I need something sharp.
He fishes into his pants and he's looking for a knife.
Yeah, I don't know if he took the monofilament blade things that he was playing with. So
they're on the floorboard underneath you as you begin looking around.
Okay.
Yeah, he threw all his shit in. Those things are expensive.
I know. So he's fiddling around. He's on the phone with Angie. He's all over the place.
Knife. I got this right here.
So she looks at it and she's like, "This is not going to work." Like, there has to be something else in this car. So yeah, she's going to start looking around. She's not panicked yet at this point. If she has to use this little pocket knife that's dull, she'll do it. Because essentially she's going to intubate his throat at this point. With, you said there was like the cup holders and shit in there. I'm sure that if there's a cup holder, there was a cup and there could be a straw. And so I'm hoping that there is one.
When you're a big troll and you're trying to drive, you gotta have a straw. That's just how it is. They've got those big gulp straws too.
Nice. So
make a perception check to notice the monofilament blade in the floorboard.
Okay.
You only need one success.
Alright, I can buy 2, so I'm gonna
Alright, so as you're looking around, go for it.
Yeah, I have the pocket knife in, that he gave me. I set it down next to Lund, because that's like the last case emergency if I can't find anything else, because he has so many guns, so many things, he's gotta have a knife that's better than that. So yeah, she's gonna start searching around. She's gonna look under the seats, look under, her seat, look under that one, start going in the back and like lifting up the seat that Lund isn't sitting on to try to figure out if she can find one. And you said that they're where?
On the floorboard behind the driver's seat.
Okay. What do they look like exactly?
It is about a 4-inch long blade with it's about a 2.5-inch long blade with about 4.5-inch long handle, 7 inches in length total. It's more handle than blade. It doesn't need a lot of blade to do what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
These are designed to, doctors use them to cut bone on paranormal critters when you're doing autopsies and stuff like that.
All right.
They have scalpels that do the same thing, but this is the blade that's used to cut open a paranormal critter when you're just to pop its sternum and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay, so recognizing them for what it is, I'm hoping I can do that, because, I've seen that kind of stuff before, I hope.
Logic test to turn it on, at least one success.
Okay, yeah, I can buy that.
Okay, you turn it on, the blade seems to hum or become more than it actually is. It's like it's slightly blurred almost in the dim light of the car.
Okay. First things first, she's going to cut the straw how it needs to be to make sure that's the right size. She's getting everything prepped, and as she's prepping everything, she's talking to Lund and saying, "Your throat is crushed. You're not getting enough oxygen. You're suffocating right now. The only way I can think of helping you is to intubate you through your throat. So I'm going to be cutting a hole right here, and I'm going to be sticking a straw in there so you can breathe. Do you understand what I'm telling you?"
He doesn't seem to respond too much as the color of his skin has changed and the medical device hooked to the side of his
this is like as she's doing it, so she's got everything. She looks up at him, she sees that he's way out of it at this point, and she's going to be super careful because she only has one shot to get it right.
Okay. All right, roll. You get 2 extra dice because the medical kit can actually give you the guidance of where to go.
Okay. That would be 12. I can buy 3 successes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to do that because I don't want him to fuck it up.
Do you want me to describe it, or do you want to describe it?
Because I'm assuming that he's kind of leaned over, she's going to push him enough to where his head is leaning back and his throat is exposed. She's going to make sure that everything is stable and still as much as it can be in a car. And she's actually going to turn the blade off and line it up to where it needs to be. And then she's going to turn it on for basically a half a second, because she thinks that should be enough to just slice through the titanium or get past it and stick the straw through to allow him to breathe.
And it does. It slides in like a finger poking into a cloud.
Okay.
Blood. Lots of blood.
Okay, so she's got...
Well, actually, no, it cauterizes, so it's not a lot of blood.
Okay.
It doesn't cauterize, but the wound's quick, so it's going to take a moment for the blood to get there.
Okay, so she's moving really fast after that, and takes a straw, basically she puts her 2 fingers down and she spreads the cut that she just did as far as wide as she can, and then
you can see the metal bits.
Yeah, and twisting the straw to get it past the last bit of the metal that she was to get it his airway unrestricted.
And then he's
yeah.
He seems to know what's going on at this point in time. As you see, he's got his mouth closed, and it lessens from that graspiness to just you can hear the air rush in the straw.
So
rush
she's
out.
going to basically right there, kind of almost like cradling him to make sure that he stays still and stable. And she says, "You need to stay calm. You need to move as little as possible right now. This is only a temporary fix. Blink at me real hard if you understand what I'm saying right now."
Okay, he blinks.
Yeah, okay, good. All you have right now is that straw in your throat that's letting you breathe, so we gotta get you to a real doctor.
The sound of your conversation is broken by a horn and Terrence yelling, "Get the frog out of my way! I got a green light!"
Oh my goodness. She's going to help him position in, like, basically laying across the back of the car to keep him a little bit better balanced since we're speeding down the highway. Yeah. She's running on a high right now of adrenaline that has not stopped.
Well, it does stop. The car does stop after a period of time of driving and whatnot. You arrive at the remnants of a burnt-out building. There's a lot of crap around it. Looks like people have been tearing it up.
Okay.
Terrence gives a... Oh, shit. They've already started to demolish. Is he up?
Well, he's conscious, yes.
He looks back. You think you can show us where it's at?
I don't really want to move him.
Then you're going to go in and look, because I'm not going to leave you alone out here with him.
Okay, fine. So she's going to move, she's going to look at Linda's like, "It's going to feel very strange for you to try to talk right now, but I need you to describe as best as you can which wall you put that chip on so I can go find it."
Okay. He will cover the end of the straw when he talks. And it sounds raspy. "I put it on top of the in-between wall, near stairs and the kitchen."
Okay. How tall was this wall? Is it... Can I reach it?
I had to jump.
Okay. So she'll look at Terrence and like, "Please, let him stay still, okay?"
He looks at you and says, "If you need me in there, just holler. I can lock my car, and he ain't going anywhere."
Okay. So she's gonna get out of the car and walk through what I'm assuming is still a torrential downpour, because apparently it's always a monsoon in Seattle.
No, it's not. But this time we rolled.
Okay.
What do they say?
1 and 5.
It says a sun shower.
But it's at night.
It's at nighttime, so
it's a moon shower?
It's a moon shower. The moon's out. There's no clouds anywhere to be seen, and it's still raining.
Okay. So yes, she's going to head for the house. She's going to look around and see if there's any evidence of people being there right now.
No.
Okay.
No.
And when she's pretty sure that she's not going to run into any people or ghouls or anything, she'll go into the remnants of the house and start mapping it back out in her head of where the stairs would be and where the kitchen would be, and you'll hopefully find the walls that are still intact that he's talking about.
Doesn't take you too long. The stairs and where the kitchen sit, there is a wall that just juts up out of the floor, making a division for the first floor, but if you're on the second floor, you can see down to it. It is not someplace you would actually look, because you'd have to kind of crouch down to look there, and at the very far end, you can see a USB drive.
Can I reach it?
No.
Okay.
You need a step stool or something.
Okay.
So now you're on the second floor of the stairs. You're on the stairs looking down at it. You could go out and climb along the length of the wall and then try to reach it that way, but that would be acrobatics and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, she is into urban exploration, so she would be able to...
Or you could pile up some furniture and climb up it.
Is there furniture?
There's like remnants of furniture and stuff.
The remnants doesn't mean she can stand. They're not big enough to stand on, so probably not.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's going to put her urban exploration expertise.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of X's in there. And put it to good use. And figure out the best way to scale up that wall with as minimal effort as possible.
Okay, scale it, so climb it up.
No, like...
go down it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be an gymnastics plus agility.
Okay.
I need a perception first, and then followed by... That way you're assessing your situation.
Yes.
You can buy successes if you so feel like it.
I'll buy the 2 successes for... Yeah, I'll buy the 2 successes first. Because, I think that's going to be a better move, and then I'm going to not do great on this agility part.
Okay.
I picked the wrong spot.
As you begin going down the length of the wall,
mm-hmm.
you hear behind you on the second floor, one of the doors go and begin to open. A shadow casts out of the room. It spooks you so hard that you fall from the top of the wall down onto the first floor, taking roll 4 dice.
Okay.
You'll take at least 1 stun plus this. Ow! 4 stun in total. Wow.
Oh. So yeah, I land down. I hit hard.
Yeah.
And my vision is swimming, and all I can think of is, I have to be still. I have to be quiet.
Something is up there walking along the second floor. You see its shadow cast as you're now lying there. Because the moon's out, right? So the light's coming in, but you can see it.
What is it?
You have no idea because it's dark form. It walks on all 4s and gets to the edge of the top of the stairs, and then it stands up on its hind legs. Make a perception plus intuition.
Okay.
It walks quietly, by the way. 4.
Mm.
It's a raccoon. It's standing at the top of the stairs looking down at you.
Yeah, she lets out the biggest sigh of relief, mixed with, I'm glad nobody was here to see that.
Okay. The raccoon then does the craziest thing. It moves toward the edge of the wall and looks down at you and begins traversing the wall toward the data chip. It gets toward the end of the wall.
Well, can I hit it?
With the raccoon?
Yeah.
Sure. What are you going to hit it with?
Well, you said there's debris all over the place. I'm going to throw trash at it.
All right, so initiative.
Oh, God.
9.
Also 9.
Okay, well, this isn't really combat, so you don't lose. There's no loss of initiative.
Yeah, so I pick up something that looks like it has a little bit of weight, and I throw
Agility
it at it.
plus throwing.
Oh, God. I don't have the throwing.
And you lose 1 dice because you're stunned.
Oh, God. Yes!
All right, you hit the raccoon with the piece of trash and knock it off the wall.
Okay. I'm going to run back up the stairs. Mm-hmm. How far away exactly is the data thing again?
Oh, like 2 meters out. It's only like a 2 meter stretch of wall.
So is the thing on the ground, is it acting like a raccoon or is it acting like something else?
At this point in time, the raccoon is now kind of scurrying around. Because it's acting like a raccoon.
Okay.
But I mean, in all honesty, it's a shiny piece of something. You can only assume it was out looking for trash.
So,
you can't run the risk, right?
No, I can't. Not at all. No risk.
Okay.
I'm gonna try again. But is there a way for me to kind of lower my center of balance and move more crawling like across the thing?
Yes, and I'd give you an extra dice. And if you wait at least 2 to 3 minutes, your stun will go away, and you will get all your dice back. Because right now you got your agility plus your gymnastics, which is 2 dice.
Yeah.
And if you wait a few minutes, you'll have both those dice, and you can get an extra one for lowering your center mass and taking time.
Okay. So I'm going to grab a couple more pieces of debris in case any other strange woodland creatures come out of the woodwork.
No, it's just this raccoon hauls ass at this point in time. It's figured out. Whatever's going, I don't want to be here now.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
The only thing I have is increased reflexes. Would that do anything at this point? Okay, never mind then. She's completely helpless.
You have to rely upon your natural skills of nothing.
My natural skills of nothing. I don't know how I managed to go through all of these other places. I should probably fix that.
Did you get karma from the last game session where you guys did everything?
Yeah.
Did you get your extra karma for starting the job? Because every job you create, you get an extra karma.
I have 19 karma right now.
You should probably have 20. Anyways, you have karma you can spend in downtime whenever you get that.
Okay.
All right, 3 dice. Huzzah! 1 success!
Yay!
You're able to get it.
Oh, good. But I'm not able to get down.
Well, you can just lower yourself and drop.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
just making it fun.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's definitely going to lower herself and try to not fall down again because she's still smarting from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so she will swiftly looking around for any other monsters that are going to pop out tonight because apparently tonight's the night for all of the crazy ghouls and rabid raccoons.
Okay.
All sorts of stuff.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the homeless bums now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just, ugh. Or the gangsters. Gangers.
Yep.
Whatever. Anyway. Basically, anything that would go wrong has gone wrong at this point.
And the only thing that will be anything different than what you would be... The only thing that you would be expecting is there's a raven sitting on the edge of the fence when you leave the house.
Yeah, right?
No, there is.
Oh my god.
As you walk out, it's just watching you. It's not saying anything. It's just watching you as you come out of the house. It's probably about a good 4 or 5 meters distance away.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that motherfucker and be like, yeah, you could have helped me. Thanks. You goddamn fucking mentor spirit. Doesn't even want to do anything. No mentoring allowed. It just wants to go home and eat Cheetos and watch TV. Weirdo. Anyway, that was my tangent.
That's fine. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was just going to put your spirit in there at some point in time to remind you he still exists. So there's that.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have totally chased off that raccoon.
Yeah,
or
he
flew
could.
in and picked up the data chip and brought it to you and been part of the team.
No, he's not a team player. That's
not
a team player. He doesn't want to do shit. Because he already did shit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool. I understand. I just want to be smart alecky with it.
Okay.
Because. And then I'm going to go back to the car and get in. I got it.
Okay, you can see Lund in the back. Semi-conscious, I guess. Trollface is... he's not out of the car, so as you come up to the car, he gets out. No, actually, he won't get out.
No, he won't get out. I'm just getting in, yeah.
Okay, you get in the car. Shuts the door.
Yeah, I got it.
It was there?
Yes. And so she's going to hold it out and show him.
He looks over to Lund. Lund is just sitting there back there, glassy-eyed, laying to one side.
Is he still breathing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
There's
good.
straw out of his
Yeah,
throat.
you know, right? Seeing him still kind of, he's glazed over. He's probably going into shock. Terrence may or may not have a, internal wound in his kidneys. And so, as much as she wants to see what's on this chip, she looks at Terrence and you're like, we need to get to a doctor.
I can't see it, doctor.
Why not?
Because I've got bullet wounds. They're going to ask questions. Oh, you mean a street doc?
Yes.
I got a few. Let me see what I can find. And he starts playing with his phone.
You know where there's one that's always available.
He stops what he's doing.
And nobody will have to know about it.
With the crazy one? With the metal skin?
I mean, he's not on your phone. He's not on your lists. I mean, if this is really this big, I don't want to use your contacts. Who can we trust? We gotta figure that out first before we start talking to people.
Alright, you're right. And he puts in the address for the car to take you guys there. But obey all laws.
Yeah.
Angie pops into his phone, asks for an update, and he says, no more updates tonight, we're done. Get some sleep. We're gonna go home and get some sleep too. She pops up, but were you able to get Lund? What was going? Did you get it taken care of? What's my next part in this? And he responds, nothing. Your next part in this is nothing. You're done. Here's your payment. Go to bed. He sends her some money.
Okay.
And then he shuts his phone off.
Yeah, she's shutting hers off too, for sure.
Okay. As you guys are going, he turns back and searches Lund for a comm link, pulls it out, shuts it off as well. I just didn't think about it until now. He's probably been broadcasting this entire time.
I'll look at him as like, were you doing that?
He just stares at you. He can't do anything except blink and move a little bit.
I mean, he can probably fraction his head.
Yeah, he'll try to shake his head now. I mean,
okay.
His arms are bound next to him, and the data jack got punched inside of his head. So I mean, he's got some internal bleeding.
Well, no, the jacket's not around him because she was trying to get things. Yeah, so he's.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, he have difficulties anyways.
Exactly, no problem.
When you're in your boxes of overkill, you can't really make actions without expediting your death sentence.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then no big actions.
The drive into downtown leads you guys into a little bit of weather. Okay. Not a big deal.
Do I know of the alternate entrance to Dr. Feelgood, or do I only know the bookstore entrance?
I don't think he's ever...
he took Odysseus.
Out.
Odysseus went that way.
Yeah, but you've never been out
okay.
that way.
All right, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure.
So you guys drive up to the front of the book suppository.
What?
Book the
a suppository is not the word you're looking for.
No. Depository. Book depository.
Why did you say Never mind. That's fine.
The used bookstore. I'm just, whenever you're ready to move on.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Yeah. So
we're gonna deposit books in someone's asshole.
Well, with that, she's getting out of the car, and she's gonna tell him to stay there while she goes and bangs on the door pretty hard. Hopefully, Adrian will be up or will wake up.
It will take a bit of banging. I'm pretty sure at this time of night he's asleep.
Yeah.
He's read himself to sleep, so banging a bunch, he finally comes dragging up in his stripy pajamas and his fluffy bunny shoes and his shaggy face hair and everything. He's got his glasses on. He sticks it up to We're closed.
I need to see the doctor.
Oh, okay. And he fiddles around and turns the light on outside so he can see you. Opens the door at this point in time. It's not safe out here this late at night. Come on in.
Well, I have to get my friends.
Okay.
Hold on.
He's going to hold the door open.
So, yeah.
And start clearing stuff out of the way.
I'm going to go back to the car. He's like, we can take him through there. I don't know if he can walk. Can you carry him?
Carry him?
Yes, carry him.
Yeah, I'll try. What? My chest hurts. He kicked me.
Yeah, he kicked you. You crushed his fucking throat. Deal with it.
Alright, so he's gonna pick Lund up.
She's like, no shits are given right now. We'll go head through in the bookstore. I am going to give Adrian a couple 100 new yen because this is the third time that I have woken him up in the middle of the night needing to see the doctor, and I feel really bad for having to keep doing that.
He'll shut the door, turn out the light. He'll rush to the back. He'll open the back door. He'll immediately pick up the little phone and be like, let it ring for a minute. Doctor, we have someone here to see you. This is important. I'm sending him your way. Okay. And then he hangs up the phone as you guys are walking out.
Thank you, Adrian. I'm so sorry.
He's like, it's okay. It's okay. As long as they get the help they need. That's the important part. And you start handing him money. He's like, oh, no, I don't need that. Thank you so much. But no, I do this because people need help. And the way that things work is nobody gets help. Everybody's always worried about the bottom line and the dollar. I'd rather save people. Take and keep your money. Use it for something important. He smiles and says, go now. They need you.
Okay. I owe you.
He's like, if you feel that way, come by and buy some books.
Okay.
And he'll push the door shut.
Yeah. So we definitely go through the gauntlet. Oh my god.
As you guys are walking, Terrence is carrying him, whatnot. Some of the people stood there. Hey, look, some of them are awake, a few are asleep. Fires rage and whatnot nearby. As you guys are walking, at least one of them gets up, just like, "Hey, buddy, you got..." And Terrence doesn't even stop. He kicks his boot. A shotgun shoots up out of his big pants leg, unfolds, and he points it in front of him. The guy's like, and Terrence is like, "Get the hell out of my way." He doesn't want to take any shit. He's in a bad mood. He's kept to carry the guy who kicked him in the ribs.
Who kicked his ass?
Seabass. And so when the guy sees the shotgun, he immediately jumps back out of the way. And it's not a tiny shotgun either. It's nice, compacted, folded up one.
Right.
Yeah, he paid a lot of money for this. Odysseus would be like,
so much money, and you can't buy a knife.
Well, he's got two now.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you can berate him about the lack of knives later.
Yeah, it's not important right now.
You guys get down to the lower quarters where the number of people become a lot more crowded.
Yeah.
And at this point in time...
It's prime time for weirdos.
It's prime time for weirdos. There's a slight dance party going on near one of the fires, as you can see a large collection of naked, homeless people are all writhing to some sort of chemical-induced happy land.
Oh my god.
As you guys are walking, you hear Lund raspily say, "Did I die?" As you make your way down the tunnel of addicts and cyber junkies.
Yeah. Not yet. That's all she's going to say, is not yet.
Okay. As you get closer toward the end, the light near the door goes, and everybody stops and they get wide-eyed and begin moving back as the doors push wide open. There stands the doctor and all his metallicness, cloaked in nothing more than a bloodied apron of leather, black leather. And beyond this fleshy face that's strapped on by pieces of hooks, he says, "Welcome, patients! Yay! Someone to work with! Right this way!" He points into the hospital and says, "You big guy need to be over there." And Terrence goes, "I don't need any help."
Yes, he does.
He sits there and the doctor smiles. "She's right, you're wrong. You get the big table. Put the little guy over there. How are you feeling, my dear?"
I've been better.
You want some Xanax?
Can I take it to go?
Of course you can.
Thank you.
He sits there and looks at the rest of everybody who's begin getting close, and he reaches into the bloodied apron pockets and begins throwing out baggies of pills toward the cluster of craziness by the door, and they begin struggling and fighting. He says, "Oh, here you go, everybody." And then he begins stepping back and pulling the door shut behind. He clinks as he walks across the room, and Terrence is laying Lund onto one of the tables unceremoniously.
She's giving him the what the fuck look glare right now.
You see, it's not a choice. He has a very distant glare as he moves toward one of the other tables. Because at this point in time, as he's moving, you can notice that the tail end of his shirt that is half hanging out is bloodied. So Terrence goes over to one of the tables. He sits down. He starts acting the cool. The doctor walks over and is just like, "Oh, yes, let's take a look at what we've got going on here. I see." And then the doctor starts quoting stuff off, and he says, "Hey, can you not announce all my cyberware to the rest of the room?" He goes, okay.
Who's here to listen?
He looks over at Lund, who's just motionless on the table.
Totally rolling my eyes right now. I'm
Okay.
Just let him do his job.
You can see Terrence is definitely biting the grip. This is not the way he imagines getting medical help. This is beyond where he expects to be. This is not what he wants. The assistant jumps down from his position in his raincoat and lab coat, walks over.
We should just describe him a little bit.
Oh, yes. So let's talk about the assistant. He's about the height of a dwarf, but he's a hunched over man that has an elongated body. He wears a World War I gas mask with large glassy windows. In one of the windows there's a human eye, and in the other window there's a reptilian eye. His back hunches and comes out of this underneath this yellow raincoat that makes him look as if he has a tail extending out to the ends of the raincoat. His hands are beyond human. They are scaly and clawed. And his clothing that he wears looks like black.
Isn't it like a black chem suit or something?
Black chem suit underneath the yellow rubber raincoat. He wears big galosh-like boots, and he walks with a hunch. He walks over to Lund as he is on the table and begins looking at him with his reptilian eye, and then he moves over with his human eye and begins glancing from the other side of his head. His head has a point, and it looks like his eyes are literally on the other side from each other, like his head is no longer human-shaped under that mask.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
He fishes into his pocket and pulls out a piece of tech, puts it up and slaps it onto his head, which immediately adheres and lights begin flashing. He pulls off the med kit that you had and he tosses it into a nearby garbage can and begins fiddling with him. He sees the straw and he pokes it, rolls him to one side, begins looking. And then he looks over at you and Trollface and then pokes the straw.
He does a... Terrence, what did you call it?
It's a cybernetic trachea.
Trachea?
Trachea.
It's a titanium trachea, and he crushed it.
He gets wide eyes and immediately sits there and goes over to a table and gathers up a collection of metal parts, throws it onto the table and climbs up on the top of Lund, immediately fishes out a tube and cuts open Lund farther and begins pulling out pieces of metal. And you see Lund's like, kind of like doing stuff. And then he reaches up and punches buttons on the thing, and Lund goes, and starts relaxing back some. Whatever was happening, this thing on his head brings Lund to a little bit of peace. But you see that Lund's eyes are still open and watching as this thing hovers over him with claws and metal bits and digging at his throat.
Yeah. Oh my god.
After a couple of moments, you can see he presses the buttons on the machine again. He drops down. You can see Lund's throat is now open. There's stuff all over in the esophagus. The esophageal tubing that goes down in rises and falls in the same rate at which Lund's chest does. An IV is given to him, as well as Terrence. The doctor begins looking him over. And, it's very good that your tank was there. You have a crushed bone, and that bone is not going to set with all that plastic lacing that you've got in there. We're going to have to remove as much as we can, reset the bones, because it's fractured beyond belief, and then relace it afterwards. But I'm pretty sure you can handle all that with your fancy... This is a nice suit. Terrence is just looking at him. You can see the color is washing from his face at this point in time. The doctor pulls off the bandages and starts checking him out. Take off your shirt and do this stuff. And you can see now that the marks on his chest are turned into a more reddish, not just red, but deep purple red color.
Okay.
The doctor looks to you and says, "This is going to take a while. Do you want to have maybe a seat or a pillow? I can order you some takeout."
The takeout thing does sound really good right now.
He says, "Great. Mother, can you order some Chinese for us?" "Oh, yes, please. Moogle get pan for me, and our guest will have..." And he looks over towards you.
Of, lo mein.
"And she'll have some lo mein, but the other guests, they don't need to be eating right now." And he's yelling this across the room to a bank of large computer screens. But there's nothing up there, no camera, it's just an empty space in front of a big monitor. "Thanks, Mother." And then he goes and he looks at Terrence and he says, "This is going to sting just a little bit. It's going to pop through your dermal armor and give you..." And he's like, there you go. And he's like, "Tear the shirt off." And he does. He takes the shirt off. And
so I guess at this point, as he's gonna have some serious stuff, I'll help him, get his shirt off and I guess maybe be a little bit nicer now that the big emergency is over. Well, actually, I should say the emergency has transitioned to Terrence now in her mind because he's a lot worse off than she thought.
Yep. It looks like Lund got the microfilament blade underneath his coat jacket and into his back as she's got him laid out. It's like a zigzaggy pattern of cutting across his lower back end above where the kidneys and liver sit. And so it's just chunks of meat that were all held in by this really tight shirt that even though it was cut up, it held together. So the doctor's going to open him up and start putting things back together. And the doctor says, luckily, your friend here has so much BioWare put into him. He pulls, as he explains to you, he says, there's BioWare pieces inside of him that aren't important, that took a lot of damage. Luckily for him, we can just pull that out, and he'll be just fine. But he's probably going to be a few $1,000s out of business as far as those things go.
What was it?
He pulls out, this is a detoxifier that attaches to the liver, and it sits with the kidneys as well. It helps pump out certain toxins to help keep your body cleaner and stuff like that. And he says, and this was an adrenal pump modification. Oh, and an extra kidney right here.
Why would anybody need all that? It blows her mind that...
Detoxification. Especially if you deal with being poisoned quite a bit. I imagine it would be one of those things to do.
Oh.
Terrence by now is already passed
out. I'm assuming that he is, and she'll assist where she can, but she doesn't want to get throw off Feel Good's mojo or anything.
Oh yeah,
so.
At some point he's got all 4 of his arms extended and he's doing delicate work, saying I can save this one, I can save that one. The kidneys, on the other hand, he's going to be sewing the kidney back together because he got a nice cut into it. He even is able to verbally describe the shape of the blade that you were using to cut open the esophagus. The assistant, on the other hand, is able to stabilize Lund as best as possible. The two of them converse, and the doctor...
Wouldn't it be the knife that cut open his kidney, not that cut open his esophagus? Because the thing is working on the esophagus.
Yes, those are the two. The knife that cut open his backside, and the one that you used is the same one.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
The two converse, and then the Dr. Feelgood tells you of Lund's condition, of the damage he's taken, that whoever he fought targeted specifically bits of cyberware that was easy to destroy. So the doctor thinks the best option would be remove them for the time being, and then this guy can make the decision afterwards, because they're only going to become damaged, septic, and most likely cause him more harm than good.
Do it.
Done. And they begin, that's how the doctor, and he calculates up 17 hours.
17 hours?
Yeah, it's just going to take me roughly around 17 hours worth of surgery to get all this done.
Then I think I might take that Xanax now, if you don't mind me crashing over there.
Of course, points over the giant warehouse-looking medical pharmacy sewing kit thing. Right over there, it's all alphabetized. Don't take too strong of a dose, I'm sure you can handle that. And there's storage drawers over there you can crawl up into. I stored one of your friends in there once.
Do you mind if I just stay over here? And she'll point to the older desk that has the filing cabinets next to it that she went through. It's like, is that okay? Are you using this table?
Perfectly fine. Might still be some bloodstains on it from the last patient I worked on, but anyways, he goes back to work.
Okay. She'll be very surprised when when takeout comes. My question is, how does the takeout dude get through the gauntlet? How does that even happen? Or does the food just come from does it just come in like a passing it down, like everybody's passing it down to the door because they know where it's supposed to go? They have to appease their god or something, I don't know.
Nope, a drone flies it in.
Oh shit, yeah, good. Awesome.
A drone delivers it, and then they go out and they get it. Because it's up near the roof of the building.
Okay.
And that's it, then they bring it back down. You get the food. He does a bunch of stuff, and then you go to sleep. About 4 hours of sleeping on 2 hours of sleep on the desk. You're done. It's too rough right now. You're now awakened. You can hear...
Even with the Xanax?
Oh no, then never mind. You're right. It's about 4 hours then.
Yeah, it'll be...
You feel rough from sleeping on this desk.
Mm-hmm.
You pick your head up, and you can hear... You look across the way. Terrence is laying on one. You can see Lund. You see the doctor sitting there in a chair, a small black and white TV from like the 1950s, giant tube and whatnot. It's playing, looks like some sort of old black and white rerun, and he's sitting there slurping up Moo Goo Gai Pan out of a small box. You don't see the other assistant anywhere.
So it's been 4 hours and he's not doing anything?
Nope.
Okay. How long was I asleep?
He looks over. Oh, a little less than 4 hours, maybe. Not really keeping track of that.
Oh. What's their status right now?
I have inside a bio-court, currently doing some internal stitching on the liver of your large friend, and we have removed a section of damaged nerve wiring called wired reflexes from your other friend over there, and he's stabilized, and so we're waiting for the test results to be finished, which the good doctor is working on. Once we know that, we'll move forward. In the meantime, I'm enjoying my breakfast. You gotta imagine he's a metal skull with a human face flesh put onto it.
Yeah.
And the lips, he mechanically moves the lips to make it look like they're eating.
Oh my god. But he is actually eating the food, right?
Yeah, it goes into his mouth.
And disappears somewhere in there.
Into that machine.
Oh man, that is... I would say that normally at this point she would probably have done her composure check, but she's too tired to even care at this point. She's seen enough.
Okay. He will slide out one of the body bag drawers and show that it has a cushion laid in it.
I can open it from the inside?
Jiggles a little handle.
Okay.
He smiles. It's a nice place to stay. They're quiet, they're cool, they're comfortable. You'll see for hours. We can even set a timer for you.
Sure. Whatever you say, Doc.
He smiles. Good.
Just please don't operate on me.
I promise.
Thank you.
I have 2 other things to play with.
Please be careful with the big one. I actually like him.
Oh, you do? Oh, and is this one an enemy? Do I need to actually care for him?
I would prefer him alive, but that's about it.
Alive! We now have a direction
and maybe
to go.
talking, if that's possible. I know with the...
Yes.
How about writing, cognitive functions, that kind of thing?
I will work my darndest, my dear, but this is going to cost money.
I'm well aware.
He sits there and he ushers you down into it, his cold mechanical hands laying you out.
His cold mechanical bedside manner.
And he sits there and says, 99, as he slowly pushes the drawer closed.
Thanks for listening to the original Box Set Shadowrun podcast. Our runners will pick up where we left off next week. In the meantime, you can connect with us via Facebook or YouTube to check out actual play videos of the original box set playing Shadowrun and other tabletop RPGs. You can also swing by our website at originalboxset.com and check out our gaming calendar, additional information about our games, and images that inspire our worlds and characters. And if you're enjoying our work, please consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/originalboxset so that we can continue to bring you this podcast as well as other great actual plays and entertainment. Today's featured music is titled Epic Song from Alpha Brutal, and trust me, the whole song is pretty epic, so check it out. We'll catch you next week, chummers. And now for all this legal dreck. Original Box Set is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial 4.0 International License. You can share us, but please give us credit. The Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership over the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sounds, audio, video, and/or any proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to Original Box Set, that's us, to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and/or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with Original Box Set in any official capacity whatsoever. Oh my goodness, that's so much. Okay, bye.